our first speaker today. Very happy and proud to announce Mr. Sylvain Mangoni Kezir. And he gave me his introduction. I asked him for a little bio. I know he's doing a PhD at the moment. He's just starting one in Trinity College. Man is a scientist, as he's many things. He's working for UNICEF for a while and fundraising, working very hard. He's been in Ireland for a while now, originally from Congo, from the wealth-rich, mineral wealth-rich regions of Congo, where mining is a big thing, where modern colonialism is there for all to see, and it's with all its warts in terms of who owns the land and who controls the resources and everything. So as much as we like to cry about our situation in Ireland, I think we haven't got a patch on the eye for Africa, much parts of Africa and Congo especially, but all of Africa, not much of Africa. So again, we have many lessons to learn from our brothers and sisters in what was derogatorily called the dark continent. For me, it's the bright continent. It's the continent of love and peace, where forgiveness is very much in evidence. And I'm very privileged to call Sylvain my friend and peace ambassador, and he's showing a lot of leadership in UPF over the last year or two with his attitude and his studies. So I wish him well with his PhD, by the way. And I want him to speak today from his heart. And please, a big round of applause for Mr. Sylvain.
Thank you very much, Tom. Dear ambassadors for peace, it's a real privilege for me to stand before you under the Universal Peace banner to speak about one of the deepest and saddest topic of the humanity, which is famine. You know, we just came from the long walk, celebrated, and all of us, we felt so hungry and we just rushed to the lunch. Just imagine if the lunch was not there. So take the opportunity to say thank you to people here. So my presentation will be very short, and it's an example of the famine as tool of destruction, not only tool of destruction, but also a powerful tool of forgiveness and resilience. So it's the Democratic Republic of Congo case, but it's very inspired by Mandela, Nelson Mandela. Why? Because it's one of the examples of forgiveness. And when I was reading, I saw that Mandela compared the famine as the apartheid. He once said, massive poverty and obscene inequality are such terrible scourge of our times that they have to rank alongside slavery and apartheid social evils. So Mandela, when he went out of the prison, he did something which was unexpected. He just forgave all the people who did wrong to him. Imagine all the suffering he gave in the prison, and when he went out, he got the power. He could even sue them, even avenge himself, but he just decided to forgive. And the consequences, like today, South Africa is one of the best economy in Africa. So, tool of destruction in Democratic Republic of Congo, as Con said it, our country is a very, very rich country in terms of minerals, gold, diamond, and the coltan. The coltan is the chemical element which help our phones to cool down. You know, when we are using the phone, normally we use electromagnetic rays, which are going from booster to booster, and it should be normally warm and hot. If we are able to use our phone freely, it's because of one chemical element, and Congo has 77% of the world reserve. It's almost our curse because everyone wants it. Chinese, Russian, American, and everyone for the industry. So it has brought us to so many series of difficulties in the world, starting by slavery, and then colonization came. And now it's what we call neo-colonization, with the help of our leaders, who are most of them corrupted, most of them they don't have humanity, and they are selfish and don't really care. So we have like 2% of people extremely rich and 98% of people extremely poor, and the gap is so wide. So famine is a shameful, not just because of the scale of suffering, but because of it represents failure, failure of leadership, failure of solidarity, and failure of conscience. Nelson Mandela reminds us, overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity, it's such an act of justice. When famine is allowed to happen, it's more than inability, it's injustice. When communities cannot access food because of man-made obstacles, it's a moral failure. Yet, even if the darkest moment of famine reveals something extraordinary, the human capacity to forgive, to rebuild, and to rise. Forgiveness is a powerful in post-conflict societies. Survivors of famine have sometimes pardoned their own offender. They choose to invest the energy not in vengeance, but in healing. Nelson Mandela, through his life, showed us this path. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then it becomes your partner. That does not erase the past. It does not mean forgetting, but it means affirming that what has been destroyed can be rebuilt together. That's while the colonial era in Democratic Republic of Congo was marked by deep injustice and exploitation, the Congolese people have transformed even this painful past into an opportunity to grow and unity. The school introduced during that period, though never sufficient for the needs of the population, became seed for which generation of educated Congolese have seen risen. The French language. The French language came in our country through colonization. I remember they were flogging people to go and learn French. They were doing so many things, but that we can speak about colonization. But this colonization, at the end, made of Congo the largest French-speaking country in the world. Can you imagine? That's today, as one of my students' job, I'm a French translator. Just imagine a French tourist go losing his wallet in city center and go make a statement in Ghana, struggling to speak English, and they're gonna call for you a French translator. Who is there? They call me. And I say it's not about colonization, that's the benefit of colonization. Seriously, it's not a job, they are struggling, they have no word of English, and that's the beauty of forgiveness. So colonization was not only a bad thing, even though they were making us suffering. For instance, in prison or somewhere, if they want us to kill you, they'll leave you hungry for 1 week. And they just poison the food, they give you the next day. Easy, please. Just imagine. After 3 days without eating, and they give you your best food, you go straight away. But it built us, it created us a unity. It gave us a vision. Today, I can be the phone speaking French, and the French person is thinking that he's talking to his partner. So, I will conclude by a call to actions. If famine is a shameful tool of destruction, then our response will be shamefully only if we do nothing. We are called not merely to pity, but to act, to forgive, to rebuild, and to demand justice. I propose the following pillars for action. First, prevent the causes. Work to resolve conflict, support inclusive political system. Invest in climate resilience, early warning system, infrastructure, road storage. Address inequality, land rights, trade access. 2, strengthen local resilience. Empower communities to lead their own food system. support and encourage institutions to bring extension service, renewable technology. Promote nutrition, education, diversify agriculture. 3, aid with dignity. Humanitarian aid must protect dignity, not just deliver calories. Aid should be timely, reliable, and accessible. Avoid politicization and blockade. Support displaced people, host community, children, and mothers. Rebuild livelihoods, not just handouts. And I would say thank you very much.